At dawn, the harbour is already full. Hundreds of ships crowd the water. Their hulls scrape against one another as sailors shout in a dozen languages. The smell of tar, wet timber, and spices hang in the air. Somewhere among these ships are goods from Japan, Indonesia, the Americas, Africa, and nearly every corner of Europe. This is not the capital of an empire. It has no king, and yet, in the mid-17th century, more of the world passes through this port than anywhere else on Earth. This is Amsterdam. Welcome to History Alive. I'm Mark, and I use the newest artificial intelligence tools to bring history to life. I can also create different perspectives. I do this based on historical paintings, sketches, or other archival imagery. If this fascinates you, please like, subscribe, and share, and let's keep history alive together. Stay until the end for past and present comparisons of the places discussed in this video. Chapter 1: The Making of a Global City. Amsterdam's rise begins with people on the move. At the end of the 16th century, the young Dutch Republic is at war with the mighty Spanish king, Philip II. But while the conflict brings destruction elsewhere, it unexpectedly turns Amsterdam into a place of refuge, an opportunity. In 1580, after the fall of Lisbon, wealthy Sephardic Jews flee Spanish rule and make their way to Amsterdam. Just 5 years later, history strikes again. In 1585, Antwerp, the most important port city in Europe, falls into Spanish hands. Almost overnight, its merchants, craftsmen, intellectuals, and entrepreneurs migrate north. Amsterdam becomes their new home. Alongside rich southern Netherlandish traders come skilled Flemish artisans and thinkers, reshaping the city from within. By the year 1600, Amsterdam has become a true melting pot. 1 in 3 of its inhabitants is an immigrant. Different languages echo through the streets. Different faiths share the same city walls. They bring with them capital, international networks, and deep expertise in overseas trade with South America and Asia. For a city eager to expand its reach beyond Europe, their arrival is transformative. The population explosion is staggering. Between 1570 and 1600, Amsterdam's population doubles to around 60,000 people. Yet the city is still confined within the single gracht. Beyond it lie marshy peatlands already dotted with activity, but too unstable for unplanned growth. The solution is bold and visionary. In the early 17th century, Amsterdam begins constructing what will become its most iconic feature, the canal belt. The Herengracht, Keizersgracht, and Prinsengracht are dug in perfect arcs, surrounded by a new defensive canal. Closest to the old city lies the Herengracht, the most prestigious of them all. Here, the city's elite build grand canal houses, wide facades, ornate gables, and gardens stretching deep into the block. This is where power lives. Beyond it flows the Keizersgracht, broader and more imposing. Named after the Holy Roman Emperor, it reflects Amsterdam's growing confidence, a city no longer thinking small, but imperial in ambition. And furthest out runs the Prinsengracht, less refined, more industrious, home to craftsmen, warehouses, and workshops. It's the engine room of the expanding city. Together, these canals are more than waterways. They are a blueprint for a new kind of city, ordered, ambitious, and built for the world. Amsterdam is no longer just a town. It is becoming a global city. Chapter 2: Entering the Golden Age. With Antwerp cut off from the sea, Amsterdam rapidly takes its place as the world's most important port. The city's waterways fill with ships, hundreds of them. Their hulls heavy with spices from Indonesia and Ceylon, sugar from Brazil, and goods from Africa and North America. Amsterdam is no longer trading with Europe alone, it is trading with the world. In 1602, this global ambition takes physical form. The Dutch East India Company is founded, the world's first multinational corporation. Its directors govern from the Oost-Indische Huis, a solid brick complex in the heart of the city. Here, behind thick walls and high windows, decisions are made that affect oceans away. Contracts are signed, fortunes are calculated, empires are planned. The West India Company soon follows. Founded in 1621, it is less powerful than the VOC, but no less ambitious. Its focus lies westward, toward the Atlantic world. From Amsterdam, the company directs trade and conquest in Brazil, the Caribbean, and North America. Sugar plantations, tobacco, fur, and gold flow through its accounts. But so do people, forcibly taken from Africa and sold into slavery across the Atlantic. The WIC operates from its headquarters at the West-Indische Huis, a solid brick building near the harbour, designed to project authority and permanence. Inside, clerks record cargoes, calculate profits, and auction shares. Maps of distant coasts hang on the walls. Decisions made in these rooms determine the fate of colonies and countless lives overseas. Power in Amsterdam is not only found on the water, but in stone. By the early 17th century, global trade has become too large and too risky to be financed by individuals alone. Long-distance voyages take years. Ships can be lost to storms, war, or piracy. To spread risk, Amsterdam pioneers a new idea: shared investment. The East India Company and the West India Company are joint stock organizations. Their shares can be bought, sold, and traded. What begins as a practical solution to finance quickly creates something new, a permanent market for speculation. In 1609, on Dam Square, that market takes architectural form. The Amsterdam Stock Exchange opens its doors, the oldest in the world. An open colonnaded structure at the heart of the city, built specifically to facilitate trade in information, commodities, and company shares. Beneath its covered galleries, merchants gather daily, shouting prices, exchanging news, striking deals, and betting on their future profits. Information moves quickly here, speculation even faster. As risk grows, so does the need for trust. The answer rises in brick and mortar. The Amsterdamse Wisselbank, housed in a stately civic building, offers something unprecedented: deposits guaranteed by the city itself. Its heavy doors, guarded halls, and orderly counters project stability. Merchants from across Europe entrust their money to Amsterdam, confident that this city will stand behind it. Together, the exchange and the bank turn Amsterdam into the financial heart of the early modern world. Beyond these grand buildings of trade and finance, the city is fueled by labor. Along the waterfront, massive shipyards dominate the skyline. By 1650, Amsterdam counts 60 sugar refineries, their chimneys rising above the rooftops. Rope makers, brewers, tanners, brick makers, and textile workers crowd the western districts, transforming global trade into daily work. Amsterdam's golden age was not built in a single moment, but layer by people, ideas, ambition, and stone. What remains today are the traces: canals, buildings, streets, silent witnesses to a world that once revolved around this city. If you'd like to explore more stories like this, cities and the people who shaped them, timelines that connect the past to the present, and history brought back to life, consider subscribing to the channel. For now, we'll leave you with these places themselves. The buildings we've talked about, then and now. The past is still here, you just have to know where to look. We'll end where so much of Amsterdam's story unfolded, on Dam Square. And this is it now. The Wisselbank, once a symbol of trust and stability, is no longer here. Next, the Amsterdam Stock Exchange. Then, an open space filled with voices, deals, and speculation. Now, the building has changed, but still is an exchange in the modern age. Here is the Reimagined, then newly built for the city's elite. Now, one of the most expensive streets in the Netherlands, wealth still flowing along the same canal 4 centuries later. The Keizersgracht follows. You can still stand in almost exactly the same spot. The bridge, the skyline of the houses, remarkably unchanged. On the Prinsengracht, the transformation is even subtler. Then a working canal at the edge of the city. Now, it looks much the same, a rare continuity in a city that never stopped evolving. This is the Oost-Indische, then the headquarters of the VOC, and now, still standing, the walls remain, even if the world they controlled has disappeared. The same is true for the West-Indische Huis, then, where the Atlantic world was administered, trade, colonies, and slavery organized from these rooms. And now, a quiet building carrying a heavy history. Finally, the Amsterdam harbour, then a forest of masts and sails. Now, the harbour is gone, replaced by Central Station, built quite literally on the city's past. This is where we leave it. Thank you for watching, and until the next one.